Hi, good evening, everyone. I am joined by the gorgeous Kirstie Shapiro, who I actually invited to come along here and talk to me and talk to you guys a little bit about her journey with Arbonne and specifically around the 30 Days to Healthy Living program. And actually, I heard Kirstie's story and it moved me to tears to sort of hear some of the things that she's been struggling with and how this has helped her. So I just wanted to get you in person and explain your story. So just explain to me a little bit more, Kirstie. How was your health? How was your health? What did that look like for you?
Okay, so a few years ago, my health was so bad, I had extraordinary chronic pain in my muscles and in my joints. So I was extremely active. I used to do triathlon, and I managed to achieve a half Ironman and came third. So I was very, very, very fit. And from there, I thought I'd maybe push myself a bit hard because I started to get a lot of pain in my muscles and in my joints, more than just the normal training pain. Excuse me. And eventually I just stopped being able to move. I ended up in bed most of the time. It was really awful. I lost my whole life and my whole sense of identity through this. And I kept on going to the doctor saying, there's definitely something wrong. It's not just me exercising. It's not just normal pain. It's not just normal tiredness. You have to find out what's going on. And we did test after test and x-ray and MRIs, and they couldn't find anything. And my ex-husband was medical, and I came home with these blood tests one day, which, as a vegan, and I've been vegan for many, many years, he had a look at the iron levels, and he was like, wow, for a menstruating vegan, those iron levels are pretty high. So we started investigating iron levels and what that could mean, and we came across this condition called hemochromatosis. So then that led to further blood tests, because you get two different types of hemochromatosis. One is genetic, and it's actually, you need the genes from your mother and your father in order to develop this disorder. And then you can get one that has symptoms, or you can be a carrier. So I have the one that's symptomatic. So I then went on a process of finding out how to reduce my iron intake. What could I do to make my body healthier? And slowly and gradually, I did get better to the point where I was able to get out of bed, and then managed to survive the divorce and managed to get some part-time employment to take care of my family. So when Carol came back to me and said, oh, Kirstie, are you looking for some extra income? I was like, yes, I'm desperate. I'm a single mom now and taking care of my mum and my daughter, and I desperately need some extra income. So then, I came on the journey, and I was like, 30 days healthy to living. What's this all about? And Carol asked, you've got to do this. So I did it, and I cannot believe the enormous change in my body over the 30 days. It doesn't seem possible that your body can change so very much in 30 days. So my pain levels have reduced to actually quite manageable. My fatigue is way less than it has ever been. So the only crash I've had since I started the 30 days was a 2-day crash, 2-hour crash, which is unbelievably so much better than the crashes I've had in the past, where it would have been days or maybe even weeks of having a crash. So that's a very brief version of my story.
Sounds like you've been through so much. So obviously your ex-husband's from a medical background. You've obviously done a lot of research in terms of your condition and obviously how you feel. Was there part of you that was like, I'm not sure this 30 days is actually going to work? Like, did you think it was actually going to do anything for you, or did you thought, I'll just do it anyway?
I never ever thought that it would benefit the condition that I have at all. I didn't even think that was a possibility. It wasn't even in my mind. I thought, I can get, I can lean up, I can get a bit tighter. And I was reading up about the Arbonne proteins, and I saw that they are formulated in such a way that the amino acids can be easily absorbed by your body. And so what I what I was thinking was that it would boost my protein levels and it would be great for my body to get this boost. And I never contemplated that it would help my condition. I just didn't even think that was possible. I thought I was at, I was at the best I could possibly be. So for me, it was unbelievable that this had occurred.
That's incredible. And so you mentioned also that you suffer with, is it fibromyalgia?
Yes, so chronic hemochromatosis has a lot of people present in different ways. So the two major ways in which, well, actually three major ways in which I present are fibromyalgia, which is extreme muscle pain, and I have inflammatory arthritis in the joints, and then on the other side I have the chronic fatigue. So those are the three ways my body presents hemochromatosis.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, then sort of you pain levels in terms of, or energy levels, or just general well-being before the 30 days, and then now, what does that look like? So what, where would you be on like that scale, and then after?
So prior to 30 days, I would say, if I had to measure my pain from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst pain I've ever had, prior to 30 days, I would say that I was on a good day, a 6 or a 7. And that is how I would just live my life. I managed most of my pain with medication and mindfulness. Mindfulness is the key ingredient that I found helped me balance my life living in this kind of pain. Post 30 days, I would say I'm 4 on a good day and 5 on a bad. So my life is transformed, like completely. I can actually go to bed at 10 o'clock now instead of crawling into bed with my daughter at 8 thinking, that I couldn't manage another second of the day. And I can get up early and I get up vital. I get up with energy in the mornings, which is delightful. Previously, I would really have to wind the clock up, to get myself going in the mornings. So it's transformational, really is.
And I like that you said that about the mindfulness, because actually I know that you've obviously practiced that and you've been aware of how you can actually manage the pain on that level. But I feel like with the 30 days, and I don't know if you'll agree, that there's this whole kind of system that's created around actually how you feel and think about what you're doing, what's going in. And it's the mindfulness, it's the changing of habits and routines. It's not kind of like crash diet or a fast process. It's actually all of the things that are surrounded mindfulness and healthy living and creating the best version of you. Would you agree it's kind of on that scale too, the 30 days?
Fantastically so. I'd call it a more of a holistic approach to new eating habits rather than dieting. It really is about healthy living. And what I've really enjoyed about it is the interaction with other people on the 30 days for accountability, because it's easy to go, oh, I'll have the odd thing. When you're with a group of people and you wanted to achieve the goal that you set out, it's so much easier when you've got people to say, oh my gosh, I really felt like a craving that day. And they go, oh, me too. So you don't feel like you're alone. You feel like you've got people behind you, and you don't want to disappoint yourself in front of people. So it really is supportive, alongside fantastic recipes and like the know-how to that sometimes you don't get when you go on a fad diet. So that's been enormously helpful.
What would you say was like, so you're in the 30 days, was there anything that you found particularly hard? Any of the food you had to give up or anything like that?
Yeah. So I always believed that I needed my 2 cups of coffee in the morning to get going. And so for the first week of the first 30 days, I lived with this chronic headache. I was like, oh my gosh, I knew it was the caffeine. I knew it because I have 2 last things that I put into my body that are not so great. One of them is coffee, and the other one is vegan chocolate. So for the last 30 days, I've had neither of them. And I knew it was the caffeine that I was craving, that my body was moaning about letting go of. And the second week into the 30 days, the headache cleared up and I was so much more energized. So I'd start my day with the fizz stick. And it was it was cleaner, and I could feel that my energy buzz was not one that was going to crash soon, like the coffee. I knew it was going to sustain me until, my lunchtime for stick. And it was really, it's been transformational. So now I don't drink coffee. It's amazing.
I know. I'm that was the hardest thing for me, actually, because I was a complete coffee addict. And actually, what are the tools are that they're helping you? It's helping you to basically replace something or give you that kind of comfort, because we know that coming off caffeine, it is an addiction and it's hard for people. But like actually, I love my fizz stick in the morning, and I definitely have that instead of a coffee, but I could actually go without. I don't need it. I don't rely on it now, because it's such a natural source, and it's not that addictive kind of pattern that we can get into. So, okay, so the main objection I find, I don't know if you agree, is that people find it hard to warrant like spending money on the 30 days to healthy living. So is there anything that you would say in terms of obviously the value that you're getting for the money, and obviously how it's benefited you? Like, what would you kind of suggest for people?
Well, when you break it down into a daily amount of money that you're spending on your food, it's nothing in comparison to what we're already spending. And especially if you're doing something like buying lunch at work. So I did the 2 shakes a day. Some people do the 1 and still have the meals. I did the 2 shakes a day, which means that in the morning I make a massive smoothie, and I zhuzh it all up, and I've got my 2 meals ready to go. Alongside that, my family gets a glass of the good stuff as well in the mornings. And so in terms of value for money, if you break it down, I think I correct me if I'm wrong, if you're having the 2 shakes a day, I think it's like £2 something a meal, £2.88 or something a meal, which you can't buy. You can't buy that. Definitely can't buy it at the canteen where I work for that much. And the one great thing about, the one really special thing for me is, because I've been vegan for so long, my muscles have always been a bit soft, because when you are in a vegan diet, and I have a background where I understand nutrition, and I thought I was pretty good at it. But since I've been on the 30 days to healthy living, I've got like firm, hard muscle. It's so exciting. Like even when I was a mega athlete, I was not